What up? What up, everybody? Welcome to the show today. A little early, um, actually, a lot early. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm actually late. Sorry about that. But we are live. Ken Jackson Experience. Welcome to the show. Before I get started, I want to talk about a disturbing incident that happened yesterday here in Fort Pierce. Two teenagers were arrested after an 8-year-old girl was shot. The girl was taken to St. Mary's Medical Center in West Palm Beach with non-life threatening injuries. Thank God, she's in stable condition. But police were called to the shooting at about 6:15 p.m. in the 1200 block of Avenue O here in Fort Pierce. Investigators determined that the victim and two other children uh, had just been put into a parked vehicle. And as the adults were getting in, two suspects in a white vehicle shot at the occupied vehicle before fleeing the scene. And thank God, Fort Pierce police detectives and patrol officers captured the suspects not too far away. Now, I wanted to mention that because in the Black community, there are so many incidents like this that don't make the news. This craziness goes on damn near every day in our communities. Children are being killed every day that a lot of us never hear about. And it's a shame because it happens so much that we've become numb to it. It's like a normal occurrence. And we in the Black community have internally normalized it. I have young grandchildren, three, uh, 4-year-old grandson and 3-year-old twin granddaughters. Last thing I want to happen to them is for them to be shot by some indiscriminate bullshit that goes on out here in these streets. And let me tell you this, I have no sympathy for these fools out here in these streets calling themselves gangsters, hustlers, or whatever the hell that they want to be recognized as. I have when the police catches up with them, I actually hope that they take an ass whooping. Really. I'm not about to get out and protest when these savages meet an untimely end, excuse me, uh, as a consequence for their actions. I used to think that, hey, let's get them off the streets. Maybe they can be rehabilitated, whatever. But no, they can't. I've mentored some of these individuals, some of these kids, some of these wild animals, because that's what they are. And listening to some of these boys, I realized that they know exactly what they're doing. And they do it with joy. And I can't even get with the belief or I can't get with the sayings that, well, they're a product of their environment. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know they're doing wrong, and they just need help and guidance. Let me tell you something. Some of these boys can't be saved. They just can't. Unfortunately, I hate to say that, but you can't save someone from themselves who don't want to be saved. Now, don't get me wrong. Not all of them are too far gone, but there's enough of them that are so far gone that we need to just forget about them, and they just need to be exterminated like rats and roaches. Really, I know that sounds very uncompassionate and uncaring, but I care about the ones that are trying to do the right things. I care about saving the ones who want to get out of that life. And not all of them want to get out of it. A large portion of them actually enjoy the gangster lifestyle. And those are the ones that I have no sympathy for when they get caught and, as I said before, meet an untimely end. We have too many innocent kids out here getting caught in the crossfire. And not just kids, people of all ages getting caught in the crossfire of these savages out here in the streets who are doing absolutely nothing good for the neighborhoods that they live in. A lot of them don't even live in the neighborhoods that they're destroying. I got out of the music business some years ago, mainly because of health reasons, but partly because I didn't like the music that was coming out. I really didn't. It was getting more and more violent, um, driven by drugs and alcohol and reckless living. And I couldn't co-sign that. I couldn't endorse any songs that some of these cats were coming into my studio trying to record. It got to the point where I just refused to record them. Today's lyrics are so full of negativity, violence, and pain that and the industry feeds on it. The industry, that's the only thing the music industry wants to put out. They make millions, billions of dollars on destroying our community. And we can't even blame the industry. Only people that we can blame are the artists themselves because they go into these record labels with this shit already created. So I say all of that to say this. We need to find a better way for our community. But before that will happen, our community has to be honest with itself and understand that these savages got to go. All right. So, with that said, let's get to the show. Today, we're going to discuss a sensitive topic that affects millions of men worldwide, including myself. It took me a long time to be able to talk about this, but I've been feeling the need to talk about it for over a year now because excuse me, um, thought I had that muted. All right, so let me turn that volume down actually. But as I was saying, this is something, that affects millions of men worldwide, including myself. And it's very difficult for a lot of men to even speak on it. Damn near impossible for a lot of men to even admit that they're having this problem. And it's erectile dysfunction, commonly referred to as ED. And it's the ability to achieve or maintain an erection that is firm enough for sexual intercourse. This condition can have a significant impact on a man's quality of life. And trust me, like I said, it's something that I'm dealing with. I have been dealing with it for a long time. So I can definitely confirm that it has an effect on quality of life. And it causes a lot of distress in relationships. Um, so what causes it? Some of the most common factors are physical. These are factors that affect the body and its ability to function normally, including obesity, high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, and hormonal imbalances. Excuse me. All of these conditions, obviously, not only cause damage to the blood vessels and nerves, um, but causes damage to your mental state as well. In particular, high blood pressure definitely damages the blood vessels, which can limit blood flow to the penis. But on the other hand, diabetes also damages nerves and blood vessels, which also will affect sexual function. The next cause, or the next most prevalent cause, is psychological factors. And these are conditions that affect the mind and can cause a lot of stress and anxiety. This includes depression, anxiety, stress, and relationship problems. All of these conditions can affect a man's ability to achieve an erection. In particular, stress and anxiety can cause a release of hormones that can interfere with the body's ability to also achieve an erection. Third cause is lifestyle factors. And lifestyle factors refer to habits and behaviors that can contribute to ED. These include smoking, excessive alcohol consumption, drug use, and the lack of exercise. And all of these factors, again, contribute to poor cardiovascular health, which limits blood flow, um, leading to ED. Smoking, for example, can cause damage to the blood vessels, which can affect your sexual function. Excessive alcohol consumption also affects this by causing hormonal imbalances and interfering with nerve signals. And the fourth cause of ED is medication. That's right. Certain medicines that the doctors give us can cause ED. These include medications used to treat high blood pressure, depression, and anxiety. In particular, antidepressant medications can interfere with the body's ability. And the fifth cause is age. As men age, the risk of developing ED increases. And this is because the blood vessels and nerves that are necessary for achieving an erection can become damaged over time. In addition, older men are more likely to have other health conditions, such as diabetes and heart disease. So, in conclusion, there are many factors that can contribute to ED, including physical, psychological, lifestyle factors, medication, and age. And it's essential to seek medical attention, which a lot of men do not do. Um, and I'm sure you've all noticed the increase in the marketing of these drugs, different drugs, Viagra, the blue pill, and things of that nature, which uh, in reality are dangerous and really cause the problem to progress even worse with continued use. Me, myself, I actually tried a few different therapies that didn't work for me at all. Didn't work at all. I'm diabetic and I do have high blood pressure. And I've been that way for a long time. It's been controlled, but even with it being controlled over time, it causes a lot of damage to the body. So I think in my case, I'm beyond help. But for a lot of you out there um, who are not too far gone, there is help for you. But you really, really, really need to consult a doctor and first find out what the root cause is for your condition so that it can be treated properly. The blue pill, Viagra, things of that nature might be a short-term relief for you, but in the long run, it's just going to cause more damage. And you should really, really get with a urologist or a psychologist or whatever type of medical professional you need, depending on your particular condition. Because if you let it go too long, you'll end up like me, where it's too late to fix, too late to reverse, and then you'll have to figure out another way to deal with the rest of your life if that's something that's been super important to you. For me, I've learned to continue living and achieving and building. My priorities have been definitely rearranged, and so I just have to deal with my condition in the only way that I know how. But it may not be too late for you, so get help. Don't be afraid to talk about it, because a lot of you out there probably can reverse your condition. That's all I want to say on that. That's all I want to speak about today, because it is quite depressing. I'm not depressed myself, but the subject itself is a tough subject to talk about. But until next time, I'll see you next Sunday, 5 p.m. This is the Ken Jackson Experience. I'm out. Peace.